championship so close you can taste it.
Oliver Askew has won the Freedom 100.
Side by side. And your new champion, Preston Rasmussen. Give us the command. Parker Thompson, your turn. Fire these guys up.
Drivers in USF 2000 presented by Cooper Tires. Start your engines.
And there you go. Passionate start to fire the engines up. 22 drivers, the penultimate race of the year here for the drivers in USF 2000. And again, we talk about the championship. Pretty much already locked up and ready to go for Kiko Porto, 49-point lead. All he needs to do is finish fourth or better, and he will be the driver that comes home with the championship and the scholarship to move to Indy Pro 2000 in 2022. Michael D'Orlando, though, of course, trying to go out in style, had a really strong run as he worked his way through the schedule. Mid-Ohio for D'Orlando, a first, a second, and a first. 3 podiums here. That really the big issue was the incident that happened at New Jersey Motorsports Park. He finished 18th after starting on the pole. That was it, Parker. It happens. You have a rough finish like that when you're in a super tight championship and you just see things kind of pull away.
Man, that's the one where you hate to do it. It'll haunt you in the offseason, right?
Yeah.
He's going to think back to that and go, man, I had pole at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Kiko was back in 6th. If only I could get back that New Jersey Motorsport result, I might have been there to challenge him into another mistake.
So again, drivers pulling off a pit lane as we get ready to begin. What again will be the second last race of the season for the drivers in the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Cooper Tires, title sponsor of this event, this race for USF 2000, the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. We say hello to those of you who have tuned into the Road to Indy TV app, USF2000.com or roadtoindy.tv. All great ways to cover and watch all of the events as part of the program. Looking forward, of course, to getting done with the season here, jumping into what should be a very exciting offseason before schedules come out. We let everybody know where we're racing next year. A lot of great things happening. Of course, the recent announcement of the USF Juniors program, which in 2022 will feed drivers into USF 2000 and the Road to Indy in 2023. That's going to be a tremendous new program as part of the Anderson Promotions group. These young drivers, of course, battling things out throughout the season, getting themselves dialed in. Many will come back for another year of USF 2000. Many have got themselves to the position where they're getting ready to move to Indy Pro 2000 for next year. And, of course, one of the big things, Parker, as we are on the warm-up lap here, we will go green this time by, but brand new cars for next year. The new Tatis chassis with the halo for both USF 2000 and Indy Pro, taking the safety level to to one more step above where we are right now.
No, it's fantastic, Rob. As you see, safety is a priority, and Dan Anderson and everybody a part of the Road to Indy realizes that we are the Road to Indy car, and I think that was the perfect move into 2022.
Obviously a big capital investment for our teams, but great to have them on board with us, and again, excited to have that new car with the halo locked in for a number of years, and again, bringing that new level of safety that we wanted for our drivers. Coming now down into Thunder Valley, about set to go, Michael D'Orlando and Euban Sooner-Emerly be on the front row. It'll be Jace Denmark and Prescott Campbell, row 2. Josh Green alongside Kiko Porto on row number 3. All eyes will be, of course, on the pole starter D'Orlando, but, man, keep a second eye, a little side eye on Kiko Porto. He has got to get through the opening couple of corners cleanly. A top 4 gives him the championship. Anything else in the top 10 is going to make him almost insurmountable for tomorrow. Out of the final corner, we get set to go racing here for what will be 20 laps of competition. Green, green, green. Couple of drivers, one driver slowing coming into turn 1 off that. What was that, Parker? What do you think? Oh, they jumped up on top of somebody?
Yeah, I think a little bit back there we had a pretty big contact, so we'll see if we go full course yellow.
I literally looked down at my laptop for 1 second and came back up, missed that contact. They'll work their way up to the keyhole. Good start thus far for Michael D'Orlando. Aggressive move for Jace Denmark and Euban Sooner-Emerly trying to battle it out there with Prescott Campbell. Wondering whether or not that car that was stopped. No, there's a car coming around the corner there, so I think that car may have continued. But as Parker said, some contact we'll see if we can't, when things calm down, get a replay of that start to find out what happened further back in the pack and which driver may have been involved. But on board here right now, the V-Box Motorsport cam, the live camera from Eli Navarro working his way down into turn number 4.
Looks like he had a driver there on his outside, but he made the move, and now he's focused forward here. It's going to get wild. We've got a rear cam and a front cam. This is intriguing stuff we're doing here on Road to Indy TV. I don't even see this in IndyCar.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool to commentate off of it.
This is new for us here, something a little different for us to work on, getting an opportunity to see the deal here. But, yeah, full course caution being shown here on live timing.
Oh, it looks like they were passing there under the full course caution. Going to be interesting here, Rob.
We'll find out which driver was involved when they come back around. Again, hopefully we'll be able to see a replay of that start, because Parker saw it further back. One of the drivers climbing up over another car here. No, this is, again, them just coming across the line for the first time.
It looked like Trey Burke, I believe,
okay,
is the driver that climbed up on the back of somebody else. You see a front wing is actually there on the front straight sitting just off of the driving line. So we'll see. It should be a pretty quick cleanup.
And he would have been right behind Jackson Lee.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a possibility. That happens sometimes when things stack up. Drivers kind of try to time it a little bit. Maybe looking at kind of diving out really quickly to try to get a couple starts, a couple of positions early. But again, full course yellow right off the gate here. This is not going to take very much time. I would assume we'll be back to green this time around. They'll just jump over and grab that wing. And if indeed Trey Burke is come back in, I wonder if Evan Stammer potentially went further back as well, because Stammer's at the end of the pack here now. Not sure which driver has come to pit lane.
Well, it's going to be interesting here, Rob. All that excitement at the back, and we're not even we're not even watching you and Sandra Murthy take P1.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure where he would have taken P1, because when we saw them come down into turn number 4, we know that D'Orlando had the lead. Being told that actually Evan Stammer is the driver on pit lane here right now. So yeah, indeed, they've got Yuvan Sundar-Murthy as P1. On the track, so maybe making the move down into 4, potentially down into 6.
Well, and it's going to be interesting, Rob, because that run down from 5, 6, 7, 8 is tough to see yellow flags. They're so far off. So I'm sure race control right now, the steam are coming out of their ears to try and sort the grid and make sure that nobody passed under yellow.
They'll definitely have a good look at that. Of course, cameras all around the racetrack in fine use by Joel Miller, who is the race director for this Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Hopefully we'll see Evan Stammer back out onto the racetrack. You got to think maybe just a wing potentially for him. And, yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of the start as well. Then, of course, the incident down into turn number 1, rather at the start, but then the incident potentially in 7, 8, and 9, like you said, with the drivers potentially jumping. You said you saw some passes potentially happening while the yellow flags were coming out.
Well, we were on board with Eli Navarro there live, and if that feed was directly live, I had the call in my ear that we were going full course yellow, and I was seeing cars passing. There was a Cape car in the front there that was doing a slide job in turn 9 down to Thunder Valley.
Well, I know there's a bit of a delay in that. It could be a couple of seconds, maybe as much as 3 or 4 or 5 second delay. Oh, here, yeah, in fact, the pace car is coming in. So we're going to go racing, and it looks like Yuvan Sundar-Murthy is going to be the driver who's going to take the lead, and I got to think that D'Orlando is going to be super aggressive here to get things underway. They'll come out at turn 13. And, yeah, onto the loud pedal comes Sundar-Murthy. Let's see what D'Orlando has. The best opportunity is to make the move down in turn number 2. Further back, a battle between, I believe, Thomas Nepfu and Miles Rowe. And, again, out of turn number 1, here they come. Sundar-Murthy out of Delafield, Wisconsin, your leader right now, 2 times the winner on the season. How about 3 or 4 wide further back coming into turn number 2? One of those drivers ticking to the inside. That might have been Rowe a little further back. And again, finally out of the keyhole, one driver dropping some wheels on the exit. Not the hardest thing to do by rolling too much speed and getting on the throttle a little early coming out of there. But thus far, coming down into turn number 4, you can see the amount of aggressive moves. Pass down to the bottom, side by side coming through there. I want to say that's going to be about 8th or 9th. Who is that? That is Billy Fraser. It's Fraser and Rowe. I think that's Billy Fraser and Miles Rowe going at it. Billy Fraser did not have a good qualifying run, well back, and this kid is up on the wheel. Got aggressive in the opening lap. That one lap, he got super aggressive, and now finds himself battling just inside the top 10.
Yeah, you don't see that, Rob. A pass with wheels in the grass going into turn 4. Usually the outside guy has the preferred line, can break later, but Miles forced the issue so far down the dirty side of the track that Billy Fraser was able to make it stick, and side by side through 4, 5, 6 is not easy.
Yuvan Sundar-Murthy now goes to the lead. As we said, we'll give you a full field rundown now that we got the second lap and our third lap are actually in the books. Michael D'Orlando runs second. Prescott Campbell third. Jace Denmark in fourth. Kiko Porto up into fifth. Sixth is Josh Green. Seventh, Nolan Siegel. Eighth, Billy Fraser. What a good run for Billy Fraser in that Cambridge Global Payments exclusive Autosport number 91. Miles Rowe ninth. Thomas Nepfu in 10th. Christian Weir 11th. Josh Pearson in 12th, Spike Kolbecker 13th, Dylan Christie 14th. 15th is Andre Castro, 16th Eli Navarro, 17th Kent Vaccaro, 18th, 19th, and 20th Bajoy Garg, Jackson Lee, and Trey Burke. Michael Myers in 21st, and again, Evan Stommer, I believe, still on pit lane.
Back on this onboard camera, I can't say how cool this is. So obviously, you've got your G's on the right, you've got your mile per hour. We're going to touch probably just under 150 miles an hour, 144 down the back straight through turn 4. Look at how close these cars are. And I know folks at home, you're probably going, why isn't he passing more cars? You don't know how hard it is to follow when you've got a train of 8 cars in front of you taking all the air off that car. There is no grip. He's just doing whatever he can to keep the front of those Cooper tires happy on this third lap as we go green.
Something we're playing with this year. Going to give it a try with V-Box Motorsports and Symmetric Driver Performance Labs. A good shout out to the guys from V-Box and Greg DeGeorgis from Symmetric. Really cool to be able to have some in-car camera action live. A little bit of a delay maybe on that feed, but man, really fun to have them as part of it. Getting a good look in the inside of Eli Navarro, again, last year's the Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series champion, and having a good run again here this weekend. Had a bunch of top 10s. A little dust up again coming out of turn number 1 a little further back, but the drivers working their way through here.
Well, and you saw Miles Rowe dive to the bottom of Billy Fraser. That little battle's not done, Rob. We're going to see a little more out of that. Here they come now, and he's got to run. Let's see.
Yeah, top 8 looking pretty good. Here's that battle, though, for 9th and 10th. It'll be Fraser to the inside. Outside still, side by side on the exit of the corner. Fraser's going to be on the inside. Miles Rowe trying to get it done. Almost contact coming through 5. What happens down into turn 6? He gets it done. Book it.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
That was good.
Miles Rowe getting it done on the outside there as Fraser blocking to the inside. It doesn't happen all the time, but you can run that outside because really turn 4, it's the race to the apex, the exit of the corner, right? The first guy there to get up to turn 5 normally will take that spot.
Now, Miles Rowe did an awesome job. The only advice I could give him for next time, go a little deeper on the brakes because it's really hard to stay around the outside when you're side by side. He didn't really have any any room for error there. Awesome job getting it done. Obviously, Billy Fraser, I bet you, is going to try to go back by.
So talk about Billy Fraser on the inside. Obviously on the outside, the preferred braking line coming into the corner. You got obviously some rubber there, more grip. Billy Fraser being even like a car width or more to the inside. Do you lose a lot of grip there? Do you have to have a longer braking zone, get on it early because you're on the inside like that?
Well, you've got a shorter distance to travel. So that's when you're on the inside, that's what you have to do. That's your advantage. Your disadvantage is you nailed it on the head.
Okay.
You don't have the braking capacity. But generally speaking, if Billy Fraser could have got, we're talking a Cooper tire ahead of Miles Rowe into turn 4, he would have the right to the corner and he could lean on Miles a little bit on the exit. But because Miles was up alongside him, you can't really lean on him. He's there.
Let's see if we have it here as well with Eli Navarro. He's battling it out big time right now. That is the fight for 15th with Andre Castro. Navarro's going to go to the outside. Castro diving to the inside. This will be a little look at it. Almost a lockup. Look at Navarro trying to hold the outside there. And as you said, just enough up front was Andre Castro there that he wasn't able to hold the spot. And Navarro showing some patience there and really some maturity, backing out of it because there's always another lap.
For sure. And it's really tough to make rear to front contact in this car. That's when your front suspension breaks. Front obviously not as strong as rear, so you want to make sure it's front to front. That's the whole idea when you pass around the outside is you want to make sure that you have enough angle and enough car of yours alongside that guy on the inside that if they do make contact, it's front Cooper to front Cooper.
Even Sooner Murthy still leading as you see the field stream through. This is the battle for first here coming through the keyhole right now. 20 lapper for USF 2000, our final race of the day. All 3 series. We'll do it again tomorrow, qualifying for race number 2 in the morning. And then we'll have 3 straight races for you, beginning, I believe, with USF 2000, followed by Indy Lights, and we'll cap off this VP Fuels Road to Indy finale weekend with Indy Pro 2000. Big run down the straightaway here. This is that shot as they come into the braking zone of turn number 4. Getting that big wide arc through turn number 4, climbing the hill back up to the top of Madness, turn number 5 down to 6. A lot of elevation change. You just don't see it with this particular picture. It almost looks like they're coming downhill, but indeed they're coming back uphill from 4, then big down the hill again to turn number 6.
You're so right, Rob. And there's so much elevation here. I mean, look at it as they come down the hill. That doesn't look, and it does not do it justice. This whole section is blind. When they come up over this hill, they cannot see the other side.
Yeah, exactly that. So again, Sundermurthy leading D'Orlando right there, though, not letting him get away at all. You can see the gap as they come out of turn number 13. Billy Fraser and Miles Rowe still involved in that scrap a little bit. Maybe actually separating a bit there, Parker. It looks to me like Miles Rowe gapped him a little bit.
Well, no, it's now Thomas Nefu going to work on Billy Fraser.
Ooh, okay.
So what was once that good cold tire pace from Billy Fraser, it looks like it's starting to fall off, and now he's got that gaggle of cars behind him.
Kiko Porto running in the 5th position right now, but D'Orlando only 2nd. The gap between 1st and 2nd now, 34 points, and that would be enough for him to clinch the championship. 34 points is enough because only 33 points on offer tomorrow. So even right now with Porto running in 5th, it's a 34-point lead. That's just enough. D'Orlando's got to get back around if he wants any shot at it tomorrow.
Yeah, if I'm Kiko Porto, I go, I don't like that I'm right on the number, and that guy's in 2nd. So Kiko's probably going to work pretty hard here in order to ensure that going into Championship Sunday, he's got the championship and no pressure.
Well, one of the other things, too, is Kiko Porto has 5 wins, and Michael D'Orlando only has 2. So if there was a break or a tie break, that would be it in wins. So at this point, even if they tie on points, it's still going to be Kiko Porto.
And we have to excuse ourselves. We're just getting Diane Swintel to come up to tell us that it's a 41-point lead as they sit right now.
Well, apparently our points on the side here are not correct. Let's have a quick look here. You can keep talking. I'll find out where we are.
So 41 is definitely to the good. That is well to the good.
Yeah, he's pretty good in shape there then, for sure.
And that's off the top of my head. I'm thinking it's quite good, too. You've got Michael in 2nd. He's in 5th. So it would be about that 10-point margin, which, again, he's got a 49-point lead.
Yeah, that's weird. He actually would have 344 points. What we're seeing on live timing is 366. And then I believe for Kiko Porto at 5th, he would be at 383. So, yeah, it would still be a significant point damage. I'm, again, looking at what I've got here on my points possibility sheet. Yeah.
Yes.
So our live timing points are not correct.
Perfect.
There you go.
That is the answer we needed.
They're messing with us right now.
Diane Swintel. She is awesome.
So as they run on the racetrack right now, 5th place for Kiko Porto, 385 points. 2nd place for Michael D'Orlando, 344. So it's a 41-point advantage, an easy clinch right now for Kiko Porto running P5. And you know what? He's done that, Parker. If you look at it, it's just a really good group of races. You look at where he has been in the last 8 races. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 podium finishes. His non-top fives were podiums were 2 top 5s. His last race in New Jersey, 8th. It's been really the last 8 races, only one time out of the top 5.
Consistency is key, Rob, especially at this level. You find USF 2000, generally you don't see that Kyle Kirkwood the last 8 races he's done 1st or 2nd. In USF 2000, there's a little bit more variable, more cars, more competition, more variable.
Well, and you look as well, one of the things that Kiko Porto's done, let's just throw this in there as well. The last 3 events, Road America, Mid-Ohio, New Jersey, he's won at least 1 race at each one of those weekends. And when you're doing that, when you have that kind of consistency where at least once a weekend you're getting full points, that's what it stacks him up. 30 points for a race win. Just those 3 wins alone is 90 points. You know, that's going to put him, even those 3 wins puts him, I believe, like 18th in the points, just on those 3 races alone. So you got to win. You get points all the way down, anything past 24 is a point. But you get race wins, and they start stacking things up. Like so, you guys, you racers always say when it comes to the championship, I'll just win races and let everything else take care of itself.
Well, especially with the way that the Road to Indy Points is structured. It promotes the winning. It promotes the go out and get 7 wins, and it doesn't matter where you finish in the rest of the races. So Kiko Porto has maximized that. Whoa, we see Prescott Campbell coming over turn 9, getting really loose. That's going to be a spicy battle coming up.
We are closing in on the halfway point now. In fact, next time by will be halfway, 10 down, 10 to go. Yuvan Sundermurthy still as the leader. He has 3rd place essentially almost locked in points. He's got a significant advantage of about 29 points over Josh Pearson. 3 wins on the season for Juven Sundermurd. They kicked the season off with a victory at Barber Motorsports Park and then went back-to-back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up that triple header with a third. He really likes the track there at IMS and a couple of wins there. But as you said, those wins coming in April and May. Parker, you know you want to get those wins later in the season when, again, you're getting people to talk about you scoring race wins.
You have to, especially in Juven's case, obviously third year in the series. He needs to prove that he can win week in and week out. This year's been good. It's just been, I would say, haunted by a bit of inconsistency.
Yep, agreed.
You know, he's either winning the race or sometimes you can't see him in the top 10 in qualifying, and you can't have that in order to win a championship here on the road to Indy. You were just talking about that with Kiko.
Yeah, and there was a run there when he came here to Mid-Ohio last time we were here. This is interesting where he's leading right now. He did not qualify inside the top 10. You were exactly correct. 13th, 11th, and 13th were his qualifying runs at Mid-Ohio. 2 finishes, 1 10th, 1 14th, came back to third in race number 3. But yeah, when you're qualifying outside the top 10, that just makes your life so difficult, right?
Well, and especially to have your worst qualifyings of the year here at the notorious place where you can't pass.
Yeah,
It'd be one thing if you did it in Indianapolis
Or
Motor
Road
Speedway,
America.
Road
Yeah.
America, but here you're shooting yourself in the foot before the races even start.
All right, what we got here? Add pole 40 points.
Yes, Michael D'Orlando took the quick lap, so we were saying 41 points
So
is
yeah,
the difference.
so who's
It's
the
just
fast? So
40.
who's the fast lap right now as well? I think it's Juven Sundermurd right now with a fast lap of 1:21.9.
Wow, when we look, Michael D'Orlando falling back to third place there. Look at the lead we've got now with Juven, but Michael D'Orlando in a bit of a desperation mood.
Yeah, they're starting to reel him in a little bit. That's Prescott Campbell and Jace Denmark. Again, I keep talking about Jace Denmark and how impressive he's been trying to work his way forward here. Jace has been a guy to watch, currently sitting 8th in the points right now. One podium, and that was on the oval at Lucas Oil Raceway, coming in 3rd. But yeah, you look at his body of results as well. Start of the season, 12th, 15th, 11th, 10th, 20th, 15th. Gets that podium. Everything after the podium was a top 10.
Oh,
driver off, contact.
Yeah, second and third.
That's contact between Prescott Campbell and Jace Denmark.
And I was calling that one. I saw them getting closer,
Yeah.
And as you were giving insight into Jace, the bit of a commentator's curse there.
100% that's what that was. You could see that. We'll get another replay of that for sure. Kieran in the truck will get that for us because that's Prescott Campbell. He went sideways off the track. We're definitely going to go full course yellow. Indeed, full course yellow here right now.
Well, and it was Jace going to the inside.
Yep.
I saw the lockup on the screen, and then it went blank, obviously, because the camera has to come to the back.
That's right. So, again, that was coming through turn number 9. We're going to get that replay here momentarily. They're trying to get closer in here. Now you can see the damage to the car of Prescott Campbell. Looks like left rear, of course, the rear wing. That car kind of got caught up in the gravel, then into the tires.
And there's the replay. As you saw right there, you saw the smoke going in. Jace just, man, I mean, you got to make a move here. We know that you can't pass here, but it was just a little, I mean, he left the door open there for Prescott. Prescott left the door open for him.
Is that a passing opportunity? I know
100% it is.
If a guy leaves the door open, you got to throw it in there. Is that what you're saying?
On restarts and starts with cold tires, I have done many a passes there.
Okay.
Never in the race when things get strung out have I passed because usually you don't have a run. But you know what? I mean,
run that back a little farther.
Yeah.
Run that all the way back here, and let's have a better look at that. Let's run as far there. Yeah, there you go. So you can see him way wide, good run out of the corner, and that's almost side by side. Jace is in there.
Yeah, he is. But the problem is, Rob, is that corner pinches off so much. I mean, you can't. For me, that's a corner where you can't make front to rear contact on a guy. You gotta get in front of him and move him over.
And that shallow entry means it's going to be a wide. You're not going to woe it up and get around the corner there, are you? Right? Your shallow entry means you're going to be a wide exit.
And for me, he's locking it up going in. If he was that committed to going that shallow, I probably would have let the brakes off and got ahead of him and dealt with it on the exit rather than start to back off.
A couple of good shots there of the incident, and again, it looked to me like the way he rolled off the track, then made like left, the rear to front kind of spinning contact. The AMR safety crew there very, very quickly to make sure that Prescott's okay. The tire barriers are there for a reason. Obviously, there's been contact there before. And we're hoping that things are okay with Prescott.
Well, I don't envy Joel Miller right now because that's going to be a tough racing
race director for USF 2000.
But what was interesting in that replay, and maybe Kieran will go back on it or not, but if you were paying real attention, you would have saw when that car hit the gravel, which we call the kitty litter, It stopped that car so hard that it actually broke the suspension before it got to the wall. It was pretty
So
interesting.
here's the shot here. We got it here. Once the
And it's gonna
transition.
come up, and you watch that rear, it hits the gravel, and it already broke the car. It broke that right rear. Before the car even hit the wall, the right rear had broke. That's how quick that gravel stops the cars.
You don't think that was probably from the contact, maybe on the inside of him? I think that might have been from the contact here first. But again, like
It
you said,
could've.
you could see how much the car woed up.
But it really, I mean, right when it hit the gravel, it woed up pretty good.
Yeah, and the tire's doing a tremendous job, so all that right side damage to the car, again, from the contact there on that part of the racetrack. But again, the kitty litter doing its job, slowing up Prescott Campbell before contact there. And the AMR safety crew, man, they are the absolute best of the business, are they not? They already have that car up on the tow truck, cinched down, because you put it up on the tow truck, you put the bar through the roll hoop. That way you hold the car itself, but then you have to cinch both sides down so the car doesn't rotate and spin around. Great job by the AMR safety crew. They're going to have this thing cleaned up in a lap or two. Like, we are literally 13 laps in, 7 laps to go, and we're going to have a lot of time to get these laps done. Kudos to the guys from the AMR safety crew.
I think if they don't have to fix the wall, I would say we could go green this time by.
They're already
Obviously,
clearing the incident.
Yeah, cars coming through turn 4 on the back straight. I'm thinking we're going green.
I will say, tough one for Prescott Campbell. He needed a good result like that, currently coming in back in 9th place in points. He just really hasn't had a lot of great finishes. Luckily, he got a 6th place finish in the final round of the triple header at New Jersey Motorsports Park, but it's been some rough runs for Prescott Campbell there, who, as I said, in 9th place in points, and he and Jace Denmark were fighting it out for 3rd and 4th. This is going to bring Kiko Porto up to 3rd, so making it a further confirmed championship for Kiko as he runs on the racetrack right now. Josh Green 4th, and Miles Rowe now up to P5 for Miles.
Yeah, P5 for Miles. Awesome work. I have to wonder, Kiko Porter, though, watching his teammate battle with Jace Denmark there, I wondered what his thoughts were. Do I attack or do I sit back? Because it was getting pretty tight. Obviously, that would be a terrible way to
I'm pretty sure they were on the radio saying, dude, you're good. Just run where you are right now. We got a gap behind us. You're fine. He currently runs 3rd. That would be 390 points for Porto and 344 points running 2nd right now for Michael D. Orlando. So the gap now would be 46 points between 1st and 2nd, with only 33 points up for grabs tomorrow. Right now, as they run, it is Kiko Porto unofficially your champion.
And thanks to our onboard camera here with Eli Navarro, the lights on the safety car on the cars have not went out. For me, if I'm a driver, they have to go out by turn 9 or Thunder Valley in order to go green. So we're not going green this time by. It looks like we're going to be bringing them on by, making sure that track's clean for another lap.
Yeah, a little more insight from Parker Thompson. My name's Rob Howden. Great to have you guys with us here on the Road to Indy TV app, USF2000.com or roadtoindy.tv. Of course, we'll be back again tomorrow with qualifying for all 3 series, and as well as the final race of the season for USF 2000, Indy Pro, and Indy Lights. And, of course, it will be our final one with the Indy Lights program as the stewardship of that great training program being passed back over to IndyCar for 2022. Along with that, we're super excited about the fact that we have just announced this weekend our USF Juniors program, an F4 level series that will feed into the Road to Indy and USF 2000. A $200,000 scholarship up for grabs for the drivers that run the USF Juniors program next year. That series will use the existing Ligier F4 Honda power plant car, and there will be a brand new car with a halo introduced for 2023. But the bottom line is it's a great training opportunity, perfect for drivers coming out of the Lucas Oil School Formula Car Series, which provides a $75,000 scholarship to USF Juniors. And then, of course, $200,000 plus, Parker, to move in to USF 2000. That wasn't around when you were coming up with the money to try to race for JDC Motorsports back in the day, your first year of USF 2000. But you did get a chance to show your medal there. You and Anthony Martin battling it out. He was with John Comiskey Racing. You were JDC. You guys were like just the best of the rest who weren't Cape that year. And then you both went Cape Motorsports racing the year after.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting battling with Anthony for the Rookie of the Year,
Yep.
and then battling him for the championship. One of the things I forgot, Rob, it was so wild. He was a considerable amount older than me, and it's very interesting as that all came back. He was over 21. He could go have a pint after the race, and little Parker at 16 or 17.
Yeah, you were still getting a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
I was still getting a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
So we will go green, I believe, this time by. Parker had said that picking up that in-car from Eli Navarro that we didn't go green last time by. I expect to see these drivers put themselves into 2x2 actions. We get ready to go. And again, this is going to be when they come across the line, 5 laps remaining. Lap 15 will go in the books for Yuvan Sundaramurthy as he's looking to try to get his 4th win of the season. Sundaramurthy for Pabst Racing, Michael D'Orlando for Cave Motorsports, and Kiko Porto still got to get through 5 more laps. He's not the champion-elect as of yet. Got to get to the checkered flag. And away we go racing, because right behind Porto is Josh Green, who has been looking for his first race win as well. Green, back at it. 5-lap dash to cap off the penultimate race of the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Everybody clean and green through turn number 1. Long run back up the hill to the blind apex downhill off camber turn number 2, the iconic keyhole corner here at Mid-Ohio. Back on the throttle, waiting, getting back on it. Earlier you can get back on it, the longer you make this straightaway. And Parker, this run down here into turn number 4, one of the most notorious corners in all of American motorsports.
Yeah, if you're Kiko Porto, you're going, I got to get through turn 4, things will string out. And it looks like he's going to do just that. Everybody stays single file. You know, if you're Josh Green, you're going, I got to get a podium. I got to prove myself for next year. Obviously, you don't want to mingle too much with the championship. But if you're Kiko, you're going, if I wait any longer around Michael, I might end up getting the hungry guys behind me. I would say Josh Green and Miles Rowe are 2 of the hungriest guys in this series to prove a result.
Yeah, true enough. Of course, Miles Rowe with that win in the wet and able to turn it around more. Yeah, that was another driver looking to the inside of turn number 9. Parker, I can see your ire get kind of raised up. Hey, we just saw that. One driver looking to the inside coming into turn number 9, but thought better of it, not quite far enough in to get the job done, backed out of it, and that's why all the cars able to get through turn number 9.
Yeah, the fans at home might have heard my gasp as I thought we were seeing another replay of what was going on.
Yuvan Sundaramurthy out to a pretty good lead, and indeed Kiko Porto kind of dodging that one bullet, and that was getting through turn number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and really getting this first lap in when everybody else settles in. Tires getting back up to temperature. The gap kind of builds a little bit here. The guy behind you is going to get that aero push. And again, for Kiko Porto, he could fall down a little bit here, and it wouldn't hurt him that much. He'll definitely try to defend from Josh Green, but if Josh gets super aggressive, I don't know that Kiko Porto is too crazy about trying to hold all these guys back if they're going to try to get really aggressive. You do not want to get involved in an incident.
No, and Rob, I think right now, if I'm Kiko Porto, I'm going attack is my best defense. If I can get by Michael, that's probably the best thing for me.
Yeah.
If I've got the pace.
And Michael's not going to do anything stupid because if he wrecks himself, he's out anyway. So if they both wreck, it's still Kiko Porto's championship, right? And let's be real, Kiko is in the hot seat here. Not much is going to take this title away from him, especially running where he is right now on the racetrack. So again, Sundaramurthy leads almost a full second now for Sundaramurthy out front in the Pabst Racing Machine. And again, as Parker has reiterated throughout the day and all the broadcasts we've done about Indy Pro and Indy Lights, you'll want to cap the season off in style. You want to show everybody in Indy Pro 2000 right now, listen, you want me in your race car because I'm a guy that wins races. I've won 3 already. I just went to the lead early, attacked on the opening lap. That's a big bonus too. I was going after it. I want this win. You need me in your race car for next year. Let's sit down and make sure we got a good deal for 2022.
100%. And I'm sure Yuvan and his team, not just Pabst Racing, but his team at home working on a deal for next year, was probably pretty serious with him that he needed to make something of this weekend.
And he's doing that right now. Sundaramurthy, 3rd place in points. The battle he would have would be with his teammate Josh Pearson. Christian Brooks, P4, running up to Indy Pro 2000 this year, so not really worried about the championship, obviously, for Christian. He's ready to make that move to Indy Pro in 2022. But Yuvan, again, trying to solidify a top 3. That'd be a nice little thing on the resume heading into Indy Pro 2000.
Yeah, that would be very nice on the resume. And there's a lot of these guys, right? You look at Josh Green, Miles Rowe, Nolan Siegel, Thomas Nevu, Billy Fraser, really that chunk of just outside or just inside of the top 10 all has something to prove this weekend, either coming back to USF 2000, getting that championship ride, or moving up for your rookie year of Indy Pro 2000 and proving you're ready. That's
it. Eli Navarro dropping the left side tires off into the dirt on the exit of turn number 9. Laps winding down. It'll be 2 to go this time by for the driver out of Wisconsin, a U of W student as well. And again, out onto the front straightaway for Yuvan Sundaramurthy, trying to get his 4th win of the season. I'll tell you this, though, Michael D'Orlando, again, this would be, I believe, just this year, 5th straight top 2 finish. here at Mid-Ohio. So this is a racetrack that suits Michael D'Orlando. That's something that he'll always be able to hang on his hat. I can get the job done here. I can be on the podium. I can win races. I would not be surprised to see him fight back tomorrow rather with a race win.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Obviously, it's a big thing for team owners. That pole to race win ratio is important. And if I'm Michael, I'm saying this offseason is I got to fix that because he's had the pace. But just letting it slip through his fingers here today, another example of, man, what do I need to go out and dominate these races, as Juven is doing so far?
And you're right, because New Jersey Motorsports park a couple of pole positions for D'Orlando, an 18th and a 4th to show for those two poles. Obviously, the problem in race number 2. But you're right, you want to be able to make sure that happens. And Michael, definitely a driver who continues to develop here on the road to Indy. And hopefully we'll see him next year in the Indy Pro 2000 category. A very talented young driver. I've had a chance to follow up through his karting ranks as well, all the way back in the cadet days. And again, running P2 here right now for Cape Motorsports. D-Force Racing very likely locking in the team championship here as well, if I'm not mistaken, with Kiko Porto running in 3rd, Nolan Siegel 6th. That would probably be enough to lock in the team championship for them as well. I don't have those numbers in front of me. That's a definite possibility.
White flag, Rob. Pretty straightforward race, I think, for Juven, and even more of a straightforward race for Kiko Porto.
Yeah, Kiko took advantage of some of the incidents in front of him. He was running where he needed to be. P5 was going to be enough with D'Orlando running in that second spot. But you got to shout it out there for Juven. Sooner Murray out front. Could have a couple of battles further back. Maybe Josh Green, Miles Rowe, and Nolan Siegel. Let's see what we have here. The final real overtake opportunity. Everybody pretty much, going to roll. There's a bit of a block there further back. I think that's 6th and 7th. That is going to be Thomas Nepfu and Billy Fraser. Oh, Fraser, I think, potentially making a move there. Did Fraser get the spot?
So Fraser was defending,
He was defending. So that was Christian Weir and Spike Kohlbecker behind him. So let's cap off this lap, folks. Give Juven Sooner Murley a little bit of props here as he's having a tremendous battle. Or it was having a battle early. The battle further back, the one more aggressive. But Sooner Murley into Thunder Valley. He'll work his way out of turn number 9, 10, and 11. Here to the carousel. 4th win of the season. Just got to roll back on the throttle. Tremendous run here for the Pabst Racing driver, Juven Sooner Murley, winning the front end of the doubleheader at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Second place goes to Michael D'Orlando. And unofficially, your champion in USF 2000 from D-Force Racing, Kiko Porto. The Brazilian in the number 12. Amassing the points needed to win this championship. Doesn't even need to start tomorrow. He's got this championship locked and loaded. Congratulations to Kiko Porto. Congratulations, I believe, unofficially to D-Force Racing, not only the Drivers' Championship, Team Championship as well.
Yeah, you saw that whole D-Force Racing organization out on the pit wall, obviously along with the Pabst Racing crew. It's tough. You're Juven. You win the last race of the season. It's always awesome to win. But if I had to pick any other race, I'd choose not to win the last race of the season.
Yeah, you get a little outshone on the spotlight for sure. Listen, you spent some time with D-Force Racing last year. You know David and Ernesto there at D-Force. This is pretty big for this team here in USF 2000.